Yes. So we have forcefully dragged the players here. So what's up, guys? Good match all around from you guys, man. Man, y'all went the distance, and well, I don't even know where to start, man. First of all, congrats, Gabe, some guy for winning. Man, you played exceptionally well, bro.
You need to come back on stream and show flex those muscles, buddy.
Oh, I just needed to face palm.
And hold on, Basil, man, bro, you played like a monster, bro. Straight villainous.
Dude, I'm trolling.
Oh, all right. So let's talk about it. Let's start with Basil first, and then we'll head over to some guy. Basil, what are your thoughts right now, bro?
Well,
Tell us what you're thinking.
I want to talk about decks a little bit because the deck is, and I don't say this lightly, I think it's the hardest deck I've played in this game. And
there are a lot like just from playtesting against it. There's so many just like nuanced little sequencing events that you got to do with it. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, despite but like even the way that I've been seeing how it goes, like you what is it now? You trash first then draw first or something?
Yeah. Well, despite the glaring sequencing errors in Game 3, where I didn't mind link to activate my Dorugray ability, there is a lot of cool ways to play this deck, and I just think that this shows me that I'm not quite ready for a big tournament with it, but I will be eventually.
I completely disagree. I think you played it really, really well, and like the fact that this deck has got so many tools that you can go, it was really, really versatile. You were like, okay, what am I gonna do? Am I going to go like a whiteboard, deal with it? Like I think the deck had all the tools that you need to like deal with a lot of our competitors' decks.
Yeah, I want to shout out Kurova, who recently won a Grand Asia Open with this deck. He responded to a message I sent to him on Twitter, so we've been talking about the deck, and he's got a lot of really good insight into it. So
one question I want to ask is, I see in the list here there's only one ruin mode.
Yeah.
Is there ever argument for the second one? Because maybe in that the one there where I think you milled it, the second one could have come in handy to secure the game.
Yeah, the interesting thing about this deck is it plays a lot of searchers. So it plays 4 Analog Youth, 4 Wisdom Training, 3 Ukomon, and 2 Tyranno. So it has a ton of search. Interestingly enough, the reason you don't want to play second Ruin mode is the most important thing is finding your 3, 4, 5 and AG. And then a lot of the time, in a lot of matchups, you don't want to cover up Dorugoromon because you want to block with it, you want to lose the battle, and then you want to go into decks. The other bad thing about Ruin mode is it's not an SOC, so you are not able to block with AG off of the Ruin mode. And the deck's just super tight. So Ruin mode, obviously a very good card. That's why I opted for the one of Calling from the Darkness to get it back. Kurova was not playing it. He was playing double Scramble. But the deck controls the board well enough that it doesn't necessarily need the Ruin mode in every matchup.
No, the Scramble makes sense, but it's just one of those things like we just don't have, like we happen to not have it right now, right?
Yeah.
Not yet.
So, just unfortunate. So Basil, I'm gonna have to say I am a little sorry because throughout the entire time I had to go my Canadian brother, and I've been calling Gabe some guy here a Yugi Moto, especially with his protagonist plays from today. So unfortunately, you had to be Seto Kaiba today.
All good.
Basil, I was cheering for you the whole time. Like T-Mac was a neutral party, and like I was like, bro, why did you curse him? Like, why did you put him as Seto Kaiba?
I cursed myself, unfortunately.
No, because if you see some of the stuff some guy was pulling off, that he was Yugi Moto today.
Facts.
How do you feel about like the option that some guy had? Like I honestly I thought like some guy was only playing 2, and then I was like, oh yeah, Basil's got nothing to worry about. He bottom decked 1 option. I guess that's 1 less threat to do it.
Yeah,
and then came out.
The only thing that was sad was on Game 2, I had a lethal line, but I needed the Luga to die to the swing, and then hitting the second Davis and Ken allowed him to kill me the next turn.
Yeah.
And that's the game, right? Sometimes 2Ks live when you want them to. Sometimes they die when they don't want when you don't want them to.
All right, and
that was unfortunate. But I think win or lose, I think you did. You think you did great. I think that it was a good showing of the power of what I call purple Black War Greymon.
Yeah, for sure. It does
And
feel that way.
honestly, we had some banger games. I'm not gonna lie. The
Yeah.
fact that like some guy, how you pulled that back on game 2 to get to the game 3, and game 3 was no like easy game. That was a pretty good back and forth.
all right, and let's talk to the man of let's talk some guy. Bro.
I just love this. Is what the name was for moments like these.
I can't believe some guy just won.
Some guy just won, bro. All right, you must be feeling nervous as all heck, bro. I was sweating that game too, because you look dead to rights, bro.
I've been so many times in the opposite position myself, where it's all right. We just got to do some swings. We'll be okay. Oh, there's an analog. Oh, there's a memory setter. There's everything they need. That I'm about to get cracked backed. And when it went the other way around, I'm like, do we have it? Do we have enough to play the game?
Bro,
It's like we might. We just got to sequence things. And lo and behold, the camera showed it. It ended up working out in that game too, and we kept ourselves in it.
So one card we have to talk about that probably was the MVP for you today, bar none, is the 2-cost option. The movie option, I don't
Return to
what
the
primogenitor. What is a primogenitor? People, tell us what a primogenitor is, because I have no goddamn clue.
I think
But
let's
talk about
like an ancient, like the highest level, like the ancestor.
It is
before the Earth was Earth and like the Dark Ocean and the thing. You had the primogenitor sea and all of that stuff.
So the definition when I Google it is an ancestor, especially in the earliest ancestor of a people, a progenitor.
Let's
so
go.
it's another word for progenitor.
Okay, so let's talk about that card, because that card came in clutch for you all day today. Like,
oh yeah,
every game that we saw with you, it was just like that card came down and it was just super good. So, how do you feel about it?
it's an incredibly impactful card. I would say it's what's kind of keeping Imperial at where it stands in this particular meta, because now it's okay offensively. Swing. We saw it in the game 3. Swing. Oh no, I don't have jamming. Wait, I don't actually die here. We can just say pop the delay. I'm going to go ahead and just slap down and level up just for the heck of it and such. And that's at least stops some of their effects, because okay, well, I didn't actually die, so I guess you don't really trigger your thing. So my swing is just going to keep going through. Times where I would play dragon mode for 3 and I can out choke them and like, no, we're just gonna play it at 1. Here's a dragon mode, suspend a tamer that you have and make my guy unsuspend. Even just times where it's like, darn, we're not finding our other DNA piece. I'm like, okay, well, we can take this 4 to a 5 if we can at least bait, make them see, do I have the 6? Do I not have the 6? We'll keep it up there and whatnot. So I can either ace it or see if they try and kill me and say, okay, first I'm gonna pop this option to keep it and then ace. And it does a lot for the deck. There's a reason why I ran it at 3 instead of 2. It's just a card that we like to see, and the security effect is just also incredibly busted for what's a 2-cost option. You get to play a tamer card from your hand with either Davis or Ken, which either or is good, from hand or trash, mind you, and then you set this card to the battle area. I'll be quite honest. I'm surprised it's not a higher cost, like a 3-cost option at the minimum, because the value that you're getting for 2, yeah, it's dual colored, but it's not all that unlikely that you're gonna have 2 different colors out when you're trying to play Imperial. It's definitely one of the defining cards for the Imperial deck this meta.
For sure, like it definitely put in the work for you. And another thing, a card we need to talk about as well, because it seems like it's been eluding you all day, is Stingmon. We could count how many times you tried to search that Stingmon, and it just wasn't coming up for you.
Oh yeah.
If looking back at it, would you actually change the ratio to maybe go 4-on-4 for the Stingmon, or do you find like it was perfectly fine where it's at?
It was perfectly fine for where it's at. Leading up to this tournament, I actually was running a 4-2 split initially of the BT12 and the 2 starter deck one. But I've noticed that there's just been too many games where I would play, and it's like, shoot, if I give 4, we might not have the right Wormmon or Vmon, and we're just going to pass turn and not get anything. Whereas with the other Stingmon, if you have a blue Digimon, that costs 3, so you can potentially keep your turn. Also, the drawing was just impeccable. Unfortunately, it wasn't caught in one of the streams, but my game against Crow, he was playing Fenry, and I made a stack with Partition Pyildramon with 2 promo Vmons and one of the Sting ones. So every time you swung, that was 3 cards coming into your hand. And given we haven't really been seeing Mirage too much because of how Ancient Garu has been working, it's kind of nice to get all those cards back and feel a little bit more at ease of knowing that, okay, I'm going to keep this hand. If I lose a stack, I'm probably ready to go with all the ammunition once more.
Mm-hmm. Very good, very good. I do like that starter deck thing on myself. I just love seeing all those cards come into hand. And from like old school Pyildramon days, you already know how it is, like doing the multiple swings, getting all those cards. And card advantage is super key in the meta game right now. And one more card I want to talk about, and I wish it was at 2 in your list, but it's only at 1, is the Wormmon. Because in that game too, when you drop that Wormmon to be able to digivolve from trash, that came in huge for you right there. So why'd you just... Yeah, the BT16. Thank you very much for the clarification, Mr. Producer. But why did you decide to go with 1? Because I know a lot of lists were cutting this card and not playing it at all. But you proved to me and the stream that this card is clutch.
I am sorry to interrupt. I have to go.
Okay.
The local is going to close pretty soon, and they've got a 2-star Greymon that's calling my name. So I'm
Oh
out.
yeah.
Basil,
All right,
I have
you
to
very
thank you
much.
so much
Go on
for
and get your
joining.
Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Go off, game.
All right, goodbye. Thanks for hosting. It was tons of fun. See y'all in season 2.
Yeah.
What a great guy! Like he came in, he did so much of work, like going into this. I just wanted to ask a question for Basil before he had left, but like Gabe, I know you have done like a lot of games with this deck, but I wanted to know how many games did Basil actually run it, because he was doing so many crazy things, and I'm just like, wow, this deck has got so much potential.
Yeah, it's as he was telling me too. It's one of the harder purple decks that he's trying to run, and he was hoping to run it for a regional. He said it himself. He's been playing it a few times. He feels fairly competent at it, but there's still things that he's looking for. I'll be honest. Imperial is kind of nice to kind of play. There are some micro decisions that you're doing, but when I look at decks Daruga and like just the amount of sequencing and how those micro decisions also impact your macro decisions, it takes commitment to run that deck for sure.
Yeah. So like I was asking, that Wormmon, talk to me about it. I want to know, would you ever bump it up to 2?
I'm not entirely sure. So the reason why we run it in the first place is it's a good late game card. And I've been finding, and it was kind of a tech call to keep it at 1 with Blue Hybrid being the big threat of this format. Things aren't necessarily always going to be in the trash anymore. They're probably going to get bounced to hand. And I find that if Wormmon isn't going to find that level 4 piece that I need, that I'm probably running really minimal on, it's not the greatest of cards to just keep. Additionally, because I run the BT16 Demi Vmon eggs, it would otherwise cost 1 to digivolve normally. So it's not a card I want to be seeing very often. If I want to see it, I want to see it later on in the game where it's, okay, I need a backup plan. I need a combo back out, as you guys saw. Sometimes just having that Davis and Ken, having 1, having 2. I think when one of my games, but again, it might have not been on stream, I had 3 out. And that was a point where it's like, okay, now we can use this Wormmon. We have enough pieces in trash that we can cycle through everything that we need, reduce the cost by 1, get that extra draw, maybe pair with a promo Vmon, and then we're just off to the races again.
True. Very good. But congrats again, Gabe. Some guy for winning the Olympus Season 1. So now you get to relax, take it easy, take a breather. I know you said you had some shrimp tacos to go chow down on. So
Looking forward to them.
we're gonna let you go and do that. All right, guys, what an amazing tournament tonight. Man, so many good games of Digimon, and that's what I love to see in this community. Me taking a step back and coming back into it and just seeing these awesome games right out the get-go is just super nice to see. But on screen, you should be seeing the winning deck list once Mr. Producer Guy gets it up there. So shout out to some guy for taking it all tonight with impressive Imperial Aldramon gameplay. but yeah, top tier deck, very strong. If you guys are going to the Niagara Regionals, make sure you are prepared for this deck because it will be a popular deck for sure. But
Hell,
we're
any
gonna
regional.
any regional actually.
Hell, any
But
regional.
we're gonna be signing off for tonight. Make sure you guys check out Olympus Season 2. If you're not in the Brick City Discord server already, make sure you try to get in there because Olympus Season 2 is going to be hype as hell. You're probably going to be seeing some of these commentators inside the bracket, so make sure you guys body them up and teach them to go back to commentary. But I want to thank Brick City and all of its members, though, because if it wasn't for them, these tournaments wouldn't happen. Shout outs to the creative minds and the management of Brick City for bringing all of these exciting tournaments, such as Leomon Coliseum, Olympus League, and all the tournaments and stuff like they participate in. Big shout outs to them. Shout outs to AP Mock, Andrew, all of them who do all the work. And speaking about the work, our production manager who doesn't want to be named, wink. Shout outs to him for taking care of us today and making sure all the transitions and all the stream layouts and everything was working. If you guys missed whatever or you want to rewatch any of these games, they're all going to be up on YouTube. Thanks to our production manager as well. I also want to thank my fellow commentators today. Shout outs to Ben and shout outs to Peter as well. For being here with me, guys. It's been a pleasure. This is the first time I've worked with you guys, so very nice to be here with you.
Going into this, I was a little bit hesitant. Like, this is my first time. Like, I'm a pretty shy guy going into it, but like the energy just going into this game is like crazy. I'm really, really glad I did this with Peter and T Mac. And a huge shout out to our hidden producer, who's like, the true MVP of this whole event.
Yep, for sure. So, Peter, do you have any closing words as well before we get out of here and go get some food?
No, it was a great time doing this. First time casting for this. Honestly, it kind of came up as a joke, but I'm kind of happy I went through with it. And like I said, big shout outs to our nameless producer and T Mac. If I bomb out in Niagara, I'll come drop by and cast that.
Yeah, come tag along with me. So, from everybody here at the production team and the commentary team, we thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the likes, shares, all of that. Make sure you guys check out the YouTube and all the Brick City socials, and make sure you tell your local player that they're a stacker, aka AP Mock. If you see AP Mock, make sure to call him a stacker. So that's going to be the commentary desk signing off for the Olympus Season 1 Finals. And shout outs to once again to some guy for taking it all. You all stay easy, stay safe, and I will see you guys in Season 2 and hopefully in Niagara for the Digimon Regionals. So take care, goodbye, and have a good night. Bye.
Later.